It's January 16th, 1935, a quiet house in Ocklawaha, Florida, surrounded before sunrise. Dozens of FBI agents take position in silence. Their rifles are ready, eyes locked in on the windows. Inside, they say is the most dangerous woman in America, a criminal mastermind, a gang leader, a mother who raised killers. Her name is Kate Barker. The agents don't move, they wait, and then gunfire. The house turns into a battlefield in seconds. No hesitation or warning shots, just relentless. Because inside isn't just a suspect, it's someone the FBI came to eliminate. Minutes pass, and then more, until finally, silence. When it's over, the story is simple. The FBI took down America's most dangerous woman, but what they found inside that house would only raise the question, was she guilty or not? This is Ma Baker, born in Missouri, back when she was just Kate Clark. Nothing unusual or dangerous about her, at least not yet. She grows up, gets married, and has 4 sons, Herman, Lloyd, Arthur, and Fred. And one by one, they start getting arrested. At first, it's small petty crimes, then it escalates, robberies, violence, and prison. By the early 1920s, every one of her sons has been in jail. Most mothers would probably distance themselves from this, but she doesn't. She usually follows them, from town to town, at different hideouts, with different names and different houses for the same pattern. Witnesses start noticing something strange. She's always there, not just nearby or visiting, but just always there. Law enforcement begin to take interest, not because she's committing the crimes, but because she never leaves the people who are. They start calling her by something, Ma. Not just because she's their mother, but because she's always with them, like she's part of it. And then the rumors begin. Some say she encouraged it, that she protected them, that she knew everything about it. Others say she was just there. But by the time the crimes start getting bigger, kidnappings, murders, national headlines, one thing is clear, she isn't just a bystander anymore. And by the time the FBI started watching her, they weren't looking for her sons, they were looking for her. This is where the story turns, because Ma Baker wasn't just traveling with her sons, she was there when things got serious. By the early 1930s, her sons, especially Fred and Arthur Barker, weren't just small-time criminals anymore. They were part of one of the most feared groups in America, the Barker Karpis gang, and their crimes weren't random, they were calculated. Banks, trains, safe houses across multiple states. But what made them infamous were the kidnappings. In 1933, they abducted wealthy businessman William Harm Jr., held for ransom, released only after payment. Then again, Edward Bremer, another kidnapping, another ransom. The gang was making a lot of money by this time, and somehow, Ma Baker was always nearby, not at the scene or holding a weapon, but never far away from the people who did. She lived in their hideouts, she traveled under fake name, she stayed with them between jobs, which raises the question, was she just a mother, staying close to her sons, or was she part of the system that kept it all running? Some reports claim she held plan, others say she couldn't even use a gun. No confirmed evidence ever proved she led anything, but the pattern was of course impossible to ignore. She wasn't just nearby, she was always there. So the law enforcement was closing in. The FBI had started tracking the gang across state lines, and they needed a face, someone to represent the threat. That's when her name started spreading. Not her 2 sons, but her, the most dangerous woman in America. The more the gang disappeared, the more her name grew. And then everything started collapsing. In January 1935, Arthur Barker was arrested in Chicago. Weeks later, he would be dead, killed while trying to escape from prison. Now the gang was fractured, exposed, vulnerable. Only Fred remained free, and he wasn't alone, he was with her. The FBI tracked them to a small house in Ocklawaha, Florida. Quiet, isolated, hidden just enough. Agents surrounded it before sunrise. We were watching, waiting. Inside was Fred Barker, one of the most wanted criminals in the country. and my baker. At this point, the narrative was already set. She wasn't just with the gang anymore. She was the center of it, the one pulling the strings, the one they had to stop. So they prepared for a siege, because this wasn't just about arresting a fugitive, it was about ending a story the FBI had already told the public. And inside that house was the woman at the center of it all. This is where the story breaks apart, because once the shooting stopped, the narrative began. The FBI declared it a victory. They said Kate Barker was the mastermind, the most dangerous woman in America, the one who controls everything. But when people looked closer, the evidence didn't match the story. No records of her planning crimes, no proof she led the gang. Some who knew her said she couldn't even handle a gun. Even members of the Barker Karpis gang later denied it. They said she wasn't the leader, she was just there. So why did the FBI push that image? Because the alternative was harder to explain. A massive shootout, dozens of agents, and inside, a 60-year-old woman. The public reaction was split. Some believed the FBI completely, others questioned everything. And the media? They turned her into something else entirely. Not just a suspect or a mother, but a legend. Years later, that legend would echo again in My Baker by Bonnie M. A song that didn't ask if she was guilty. It didn't question the story. It just told it, loud, dramatic, and unforgettable. Because by then, the truth almost didn't matter anymore. She didn't just die that day. She became a story people would keep on retelling. So what was she really? A criminal mastermind? Or just a loyal mother who refused to abandon her sons?